Right us away. We got yogurt shop murder suspect identified by cops in stunning breakthrough after 14 girls killed in 1991. A suspect has been identified in the execution-style killings of 4 teenage girls at a yogurt shop more than 3 decades ago. The bodies of Eliza Thomas, 17, Jennifer Harbinson, 17, Sarah Harbinson, 17, and Amy Ayers, 13, were found charred beyond recognition inside the storage room of the I Can't Believe It's Yogurt shop in Austin on December 6, 1991. Police in Austin, Texas announced on Friday that Robert Eugene Brashers has been linked to the unsolved murders through a wide range of DNA testing. Brashers died by suicide in January of 1991 during a standoff with law enforcement. He has an extensive criminal history, including attempted murder, burglary, impersonating a cop, and unlawful possession of a weapon. CBS News reported that investigators managed to link a bullet casing found in a drain inside the yogurt shop to the gun he used to shoot himself. The girls were found naked, gagged, tied up, and stacked on top of one another. Each had been shot in the back of the head. At least one of the teenage girls had been raped. The yogurt shop murders stunned Texas capital city and became known as one of the area's most notorious crimes. Austin police investigators and prosecutors had stumbled over the case for years as they waded through thousands of leads, several false confessions, and badly damaged evidence from the burned out crime scene. So here you go. Apparently, this is the perpetrator. He took his own life during the whole when he was on the run, or when he got into conflict with the police. Here's the 4 children or kids. In November 1986, Brashers was convicted of attempted second-degree murder stemming from a 1985 incident in St. Lucie County, Florida. About 2 years later, Brashers was arrested in Paragould, Arkansas, for attempting to break into a residence of a single female. On January 13, 1999, Brashers killed himself in Kennett, Missouri, during a 4-hour standoff with police. Austin law enforcement had looked at more than 1,200 possible suspects over the last 34 years and secured dozens of confessions. The case remains an open and ongoing investigation, Austin police said, and are set to host a press conference on Monday outlining the latest breakthrough. Their announcement happened about 1 month after the release of Yogurt Shop Murders, an HBO documentary series focusing on the killings. 2 of the girls, Jennifer Harbinson and Thomas, worked at the Austin yogurt shop while the other 2 had stopped by to catch a ride to a slumber party after the store's closing at 11 p.m. Some of them were sexually assaulted before being shot in the back of their heads. Colonel Setting Fire Shop. There's the yogurt shop. 4 bodies charred beyond recognition. The shop was then set on fire, which destroyed much of the evidence and soot-covered fingerprints. Authorities originally centered their investigation around 4 teenage boys: Robert Springsteen, Michael Scott, Maurice Pierce, and Forrest Wellborn. Springsteen and Scott confessed to the murders while in custody. Springsteen was tried, convicted, and sentenced to death in 2001. Scott was also sentenced to life in prison after being convicted in 2002. However, their pair's convictions were ultimately dismissed by the Texas Court of Appeals on constitutional grounds. The 2 were freed in October 2009. Sarah left, Jennifer Wright. 2 Mexican nationals were also arrested in connection to the slayings, but later ruled out as suspects. Separately, 2 Mexican nationals were arrested in connection but later ruled out. Mexican authorities took Porfirio Villa Saavedra and Alberto Jimenez Cortez into custody in October 1992. Saavedra apparently matched the description of a man who was seen in a vehicle outside the yogurt shop on the night of the murders. The Mexican Attorney General's office claimed the man confessed to the killings. However, Saavedra, a member of the Mierdes Punks motorcycle gang, recanted 2 days later and claimed the Mexican police had coerced him into confessing. So there you have it. So apparently they got they got DNA breakthrough. Tragedy at Ohio State. A student is found dead inside a football stadium. Jesus. The Ohio State University is mourning the loss of one of their students after a 19-year-old male was found dead inside the school's football stadium on Friday. It was first announced of the body being found inside the Ohio Stadium, and it has been now been identified as that of What the? What? What the fuck was that about? It's the outside the Ohio Stadium, and has been identified as the student William Mayers from Fairfield, Connecticut. In a statement to the Columbus Dispatch, a spokesperson for the university said, "Our thoughts are with his family and friends during this difficult time. Counseling and consultation services are available for students in need of support by calling 614." Yeah, you can. Myers' cause of death has not been revealed yet. So the university say that foul play is not suspected and there is no ongoing threat to the community. It is not the first tragic incident to occur inside the stadium after a woman died last year after falling from the upper tier of the stadium in an apparent suicide. Oh boy. Larissa Brady, 53, was attending her daughter's spring commencement last May and told her family she wanted to move higher into the stadium before she was seen climbing over the wall and falling to her death. Jesus Christ. In the aftermath of her death, it was revealed that Brady had suffered from mental health issues and had attempted suicide twice before. Her husband also told police that she had not been compliant with her medications. Oh, Jesus. This week's death of a male student comes less than a week after the university's football team, the Buckies, beat the Ohio Bobcats 37-9 to go 3-0 for the season. Football team is on the road this week, Washington Huskies, but are slated to return to Ohio Stadium next week and to host Minnesota. So yeah, there you have it. Apparently, the student might have taken his own life, possibly, for some reason. Wait, did I lose all of my fucking... I lost all of my articles. Sorry, give me a second. Let us continue. We'll look at some of this stuff.
Now at 11, a homicide investigation in Hollywood. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson. A woman who moved here from Scotland was found dead and dismembered inside her apartment. NBC4's Starsha Phillips live in Hollywood with new details and reaction from one of her friends. Starsha.
Carolyn, investigators with the Los Angeles Police Department say June Bunyan died from traumatic neck injuries. Her body wasn't discovered for days. She lived in this apartment behind me, and NBC4 Investigates uncovered that when officers doing a wellness check finally went into her apartment, they walked into a grisly scene. 37-year-old June Bunyan found dead inside her apartment on Franklin Avenue in Hollywood on September 11th. Investigators with the Los Angeles Police Department say Bunyan was dismembered and parts of her body put into plastic bags.
I knew June. I was her neighbor and her friend.
Ariel Miller was June's neighbor for the year and a half June lived at Franklin Allure Apartments.
She was a great person. Everybody in the apartment complex knew her. She was a friend to everyone.
June's 25-year-old husband, Jonathan Renteria, was arrested, accused of murdering and dismembering June's body. The LAPD tells NBC4 Investigates Renteria was found in a motel in Newbury Park on September 11th after he tried to slit his wrists. Responding officers found a note in the motel, apparently written by Renteria, saying he had killed his wife. That initiated a wellness check at the apartment in Hollywood. Police believe June was killed on September 4th. Roughly 7 days before she was found. June is originally from the United Kingdom. Loved ones there are crowdfunding to bring her body back to the UK. Ariel Miller says she's devastated by June's murder and says her friend confided that she was having problems with her husband.
I did know that there was challenges in their relationship, that he was emotionally, verbally, financially, and sexually abusive to her. He should spend
Domestic violence.
every single moment of his natural life thinking about what he did to that woman and how he destroyed her family, their family, and they have a child together that's an infant. Not even, she's a newborn, she's 2 months old.
Now, we have not been able to confirm those details about June's child with investigators. According to Ariel, the child is now with Renteria's parents. Renteria has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, and we've also just learned that June did file for divorce in 2023. That divorce was never finalized. Reporting live tonight from Hollywood, I'm Darsha Phillips, NBC4 News.
Uh-oh. Looking like domestic violence, possibly. That escalated.
We are following breaking news. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has dropped his bid for re-election.
Yeah, apparently he dropped
Today's
out.
announcement comes after months of speculation, with Adams repeatedly denying he would drop out. Here's some of what Adams had to say in a video posted on social media.
Despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign.
Adams' departure sets up a three-way race between Democratic Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, independent former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa. Ahead of today's announcement, most polls showed Adams with single-digit support. He has not yet endorsed a remaining candidate.
Oh, there you have it. He has dipped out of the race. He can't get the funding because he's being politically harassed, in a sense. As the battle goes on, you know. And what do we got here? A covert FBI agent smuggled $1 billion in cocaine to crush Colombian cartels and live to tell the tale. Martin Suarez returned from a morning run in his Puerto Rican gated community in August 1994 to an assassin emerging from the shadows. A Smith & Wesson revolver heavy in his hand. "Don't run, motherfucker," the man shouted at him, as Suarez recalls it in his new book, Inside the Cartel, how an undercover FBI agent smuggled cocaine, laundered cash, and dismantled the Colombian narco empire. Day Street Books. "You aren't going to outrun these bullets." Suarez, an FBI agent with 23 years on the job, had faced Colombian narco bosses, smugglers, and killers, but this was different. The man pressing a gun into his into the back of his head was there to murder Suarez on his own doorstep, while his wife and 2 young sons were away. He knew exactly who'd ordered the hit, El Toro Negro, the North Coast Cartel's ruthless money boss. Toro had once warned Suarez, "At any time I can reach across the world and tap you on the shoulder." Suarez had been infiltrating the Medellin and Cali cartels since 1988, posing as Manny, a guy who had no qualms helping Colombian cartels. He smuggled $1 billion worth of cocaine into Miami by boat and plane, all of which federal agents would seize and laundered millions for Toro himself. Not a gram of those drugs ever made it into the streets, he writes. We funneled every payment given to us by the cartel back into the government's coffers. In essence, our investigation into the cartels was being funded by the cartels themselves. There you go. Money glitch. Infinite money glitch. Suarez hadn't planned on becoming the first FBI agent in history to be thrown into a long-term, deep undercover operation that targeted Colombia's most ruthless drug cartels. By the mid-1980s, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar had transformed the Medellin cartel into a multinational empire, replacing coffee with cocaine as his country's most lucrative export and flooding America with nearly 2 million pounds of product a year. Miami, Suarez's hometown, became the cartel's main point of entry. Yep. Yeah, Miami, Atlanta. Alright, alright, there, shit, you can even say parts of Florida was even, right. As the war on drugs grew in scale and importance, even, well, California too. Basically, any of the states on the coastline, you would have some cartels and drug shit going on, or if you're on the border, right? If any of the bordering states, right, that has immigration stuff, yeah, you're gonna have fucking right people coming through and shit, and smuggling shit. Anyways, whereas the double as an import export company. Wait, did we read that? Overhead, the FBI infiltrate the cartels. Wait. Oh, right here. Miami, Suarez's hometown, became the cartel. Yeah. As the war on drugs grew in scale and importance, even conducting 1,000-pound busts wasn't going to cut it anymore. Suarez recalls the cartels were making so much money that they chalked up the losses to merely an overhead cost the FBI needed to infiltrate the cartels. So the Bureau built Suarez an office on Miami's industrial south side, a warehouse that doubled as an import-export company. Outwardly, it was a produce business, moving crates of oranges and vegetables through the port. Inside, it was the launch pad for one of the FBI's boldest infiltrations. Basically, it was a full-on, it's basically a fake company, not really a fake company, right? They were really doing they were actually doing something, but at the same time, they were doing investigation, right? They were feds, right? Bold as infiltrations. To pass as Manny, Suarez had to learn how to think, act, and live like a smuggler. The FBI paired him with Diego, a cooperating witness and former pilot for the Medellin cartel, who walked him through the cultural details that could make or break an undercover legend. How to do everything from spend money, don't be cheap, Diego said, to use the right vernacular instead of son of a bitch. For instance, a true drug smuggler would say triple hijo de puta, roughly translated as triple son of a whore. It doesn't make much sense when you say it in English, Suarez admits, but it was how they spoke. I mean, that's true. I mean, if you think about it, yeah. Right, people love using slang, especially drug lords and cartel members and stuff like that. Serez also needed to look like a high rolling trafficker. I stuck up on the finest European linen, Italian slacks, high quality denim, cowboy boots, and tropical fedoras. He writes, he grew a thick mustache, added a diamond-studded Rolex and a heavy gold bracelet to his wrist, and slid behind the wheel of the FBI-bought luxury cars. A gold Porsche 928, a black Porsche 1911 Carrera S, a Bentley Continental. Jesus Christ. All that is really FBI is fucking splurging, man. All for the love of the game. To complete the vibe, I put more swagger in my step. I ratcheted up my cockiness, he writes. Soon the facade became indistinguishable from the truth. In the eyes of the cartel, I was one of the most prolific drug smugglers in South Florida, he writes. I had marine and aviation skills, a reliable crew, and the guts to get their dope across the border. The cartels trusted him, couriers started showing up at his door, and Manny became a fixture in an underworld that was supposed to be impenetrable. A typical drop looked less like a drug deal than a scene from an action thriller. His smuggling vessel was conspicuous. 100-foot lobster boat, anchored at specific coordinates off Cuba's coast. A 36-foot Mako fishing boat was his runner, darting into open water to collect the payload. The handoff was simple on paper. Serez would anchor the lobster boat, prep the Mako, and wait for the cargo plane flying straight from Colombia. Once overhead, the crew would open its doors, drop the tightly wrapped bundles of cocaine into the sea. Serez would scoop them up before the Caribbeans swallowed them whole. In practice, it was chaos. A great whooshing came from overhead. The rippled squealing of a plane the cartel had arrived. Serez writes, and then I heard the sound bang, bang. Each 45-kilogram bag of cocaine hit the ocean like a fridge hurled off a rooftop, landing so close to his vessel that one wrong angle could have destroyed it. Serez and his crew worked frantically as seawater poured onto the deck. We took on so much water that the bales floated aboard and nearly washed back out to sea, he recalls. For the 6 hours, they had hauled bundles aboard, chasing down stragglers swept away by the shifting currents. Missing even one would raise suspicion. Well, I mean, when you're moving a bunch of drugs and you only have so much room on your boat, and then you fucking start overloading your boat and shit, yeah, that's bad. Other times, a brush with danger was as simple as dinner. Serez once sat down at a restaurant with Gustavo, a North Coast trafficker known as El Loco. Mid-conversation, El Loco's wife, Ella, leaned in and whispered urgently, "We should get out of here. Those two guys over there, they are feds. I can smell a cop from a mile away." Serez froze. The two men at the bar were indeed federal agents. They were his men, running surveillance. To Ella, it was proof the walls were closing in. To Serez, it was a reminder of how thin the line was between survival and exposure. Right. Serez sent her speaker in 1988 with a drug trafficker left in his Sicario right from Medellin cartel. In August 1994, the FBI called the operation complete. I threw away all my doper gear and money laundering garb, Serez writes. I crushed my undercover phones and turned my wire over. But he wasn't out of the danger. The Sicario, Spanish for hitman, came within days. Serez fought back, and shots were fired. My back seized up, and I felt blood on my face. The blood wasn't from a bullet from his busted nose, but from his busted nose. The hitman fled across the golf course. Serez chasing and pulling the trigger. Click, he was out of bullets. Serez survived, and the shooting made local headlines, framed as a botched home invasion. Agents eventually caught the assassin, but he refused to talk. No one could prove El Toro Negro. had ordered the hit, though Suarez never doubted it. Well, obviously. 1 month later, a U.S. attorney unsealed an indictment that landed like a thunderclap in federal court. 52 members of the North Coastal Cartel and its network of associates were charged with crimes from drug trafficking to money laundering. The list was a who's who of the underworld: Daniel Mayer, Julio Temez, the Moore cousins, Toro himself. It made a bigger splash than a bale of cocaine falling from a plane and into the ocean. But El Toro Negro disappeared. We never found him, Suarez admits. He slipped into the darkness of Colombia's criminal underworld and never touched America's soil. We were never even able to figure out his real name. Suarez returned to San Juan in 1996 and 1997 to testify in court, not as Manny, but as Special Agent Martin Suarez. When the defendants saw me enter the courtroom in my G-Man garb, slick suit, trimmed hair, clean-shaven, they knew they were in deep shit. Suarez writes, Manny, a federal agent, it couldn't be. The trials ended in convictions, and Suarez retired from the FBI in 2011. Well, yeah, I mean, once you go undercover like that, yeah, once your face is plastered all over like that, yeah, you kind of have to hang it up, right? Because, right, the cat's out of the bag, right? He's still out there. I suspect that he never forgot about me, the lone undercover FBI agent who crumbled the ground beneath his feet. I sometimes wonder if he continues to plot revenge, his long arms still laced with muscle, ready to tap me on the shoulder once more. There you have it. Well, yeah. Given what you did, yeah. I mean, he will, he's got to look over his shoulder like every fucking time now. Because he doesn't know if one of his hitmen are going to come in and try and get him. Liberal councilwoman is forced to resign after appallingly graphic suicide instructions to Trump supporters. You're out of your mind, lady. A city councilwoman in Oklahoma resigned this week after it was revealed that she told a supporter of President Donald Trump to kill herself. Oh, that's rude. And then again, I tell people to do that sometimes. It's not nice, obviously. Bree Montoya, who represented Ward 3 in Norman, a city just south of Oklahoma City, got into a spat with a Facebook user in June over the size of a local No Kings protest. Protests. Ah, yes. These demonstrations occurred all over the United States and largely coincided with the U.S. Army parade in Washington, D.C., celebrating the military branch's 250th anniversary. When arguing about the protests in Norman, Montoya told a woman named Audra Abbott to open a vein. Screenshots show. She then upped the ante, saying, "Go on, put a gun in your mouth and pull the triggers." Abbott spoke to KOKH and told the outlet she was shocked an elected official would carry herself this way. I saw that she was a city council member within moments of her posting it, and I was like, wow, I can't believe an elected official would talk like that online. She said, "It's a TikTok and influential conservative social media account. Sure, you can say sure, why not? They've been caught. They're kind of, I would say they're more liberal, but they're more I guess you could say in the middle, but they lean more liberal because they've been doxing people and shit. Anyways, Montoya's comments last week. 4 days later, Montoya succumbed to the pressure and stepped down from office. In various capacities, I have served the community since 2008, and I'm ready to pursue other interests. Effective immediately, I'm resigning as council member Ward 3, she said during the September 23rd city council meeting. Matoya also wrote an apology on her city council Facebook account several days before she resigned. I want to apologize for comments I made from my personal Facebook account a few months ago, she wrote. There are no words to express how awful, inappropriate, and unacceptable my comments were. She said the exchange between her and Abbott got away out of hand, adding that she was completely out of line. I was immediately disgusted with myself and knew I had crossed an unimaginable line. I sent a direct apology soon after, she said. To those I've heard and are disappointed in me, I'm truly sorry. I humbly ask your forgiveness. Oh no, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. So Matoya stayed in her position for months after this incident, which led some to believe that the city council had swept this under the rug. Uh-oh. If it hadn't have went viral with libs of TikTok picking it up, I don't think anything would have happened at all. I don't think there would have been a public apology, and I don't think she would have resigned, Abbott told KOKH. Chaya Rychik, the woman who runs the Libs of TikTok account. I don't even know how to say her name. She's not even American. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Celebrated Matoya's resignation and gladly took the credit for ousting the liberal elected official. Oh, this is her. Yeah. Norman Councilwoman. Norman Councilwoman Helen Grant, who represents Ward 4, was also experienced backlash over a comment she made the day after Charlie Cook was fatally shot, September 10th. In a Facebook comment, Grant called Kirks a grifting narcissist and a grotesque cheerleader for the MAGA movement. What about Kamala Harris and all those other people? Like, what? Come on, it goes both ways, bitch. Kirk, she said, viewed whatever kinds of hate would sell. I wouldn't even agree with the whole grifting narcissist thing either. Anyways, it would sell. She added that he will be a footnote that gets buried under the next guy who has been growing an audience, who then steps up to fill the void. The Daily Mail was approached Grant for comment. In light of these controversies, citizens present at the September 23rd council meeting called for a code of conduct to be implemented for the councilors. Lane Brown, a resident, also flamed Mayor Stephen Holman for not addressing Montoya's comments until it became a media spectacle. Sir, you were quiet about this entire situation. I think that just speaks to your integrity, Brown said. Yeah, I mean, these people don't fucking, right, when shit hits the fan immediately, right, they don't come out, right, immediately and condemn it outright. No, they wait till, like, the last fucking second to be like, oh, yeah, I condemn it. Yeah, sure. Like, dude, fuck you. Should have said that in the fucking beginning. Not, like, fucking 6-10 weeks later. Fuck you. What do we got here?
Against Americans. All right, everyone. Give them no all pedestrians will move outside the road, or you'll be arrested for impeding. All pedestrians will move outside the road now, or you will be arrested for impeding. Let's move them out. Move it right now. Move it.
He gave the call. Move it, motherfucker.
Outside the road. Outside the road.
Let's go. 3 feet.
Outside the road, sir.
3 feet. Let's go, sir. Outside the road, 3 feet.
You think your mama's proud of you?
You think your mom's proud of you? You think your mama's proud of you? 3 feet, ladies and gents. 3 feet. that a person? Is that a person right there on the car? Oh yeah, she's just chilling right there. Get out the road, mother! He's just like, oh
12
fuck!
seconds later.
No, they're still chasing him! Get your ass up! Behind your back! Get your ass behind your back!
Alright, we got your stuff, look. 1, 2, 3. My keys, my keys. Look, you got your keys, it's all getting in the corner. Your keys, your phone, your wallet, and your charger. Alright?
Yeah. He got all fucked up because he jumped off the fucking car and then they fucking tackled him.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Never fuck around and find out. If you just stay in that zone, you'll be fine. And then what do we got here? Oh yeah, Russia strikes Ukraine again. Oh. Tap, 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 tap. They're shooting at like drones or missiles or something. Tap, 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 tap. That was the glass. Alright, then we got Fury after woke NHS supports first cousin marriages despite risk of birth defects and oppression against women. This is gross. The NHS has been accused of taking their knee to political correctness by advocating the benefits of marriage between cousins. That's fucking weird. Despite it carrying an increased risk of birth defects, well, obviously, and being used as a way to oppress women. What the fuck? Why? What? The guidance, which incredibly points out that it has been allowed in Britain since Henry VIII passed. I'm sorry. If you're going to go back in time and be like, yes, we should enact Britain's Harry the fucking Eighth's law that he. Where a lot of those guys slept with their cousins and sisters, and when they created babies, it didn't do too well, right? Like, yeah, it was probably not a good thing. Yeah, probably don't do that, right? Law enabling him to marry Anne Boleyn, cousin Catherine Howard, says the cousin marriage offers benefits such as stronger extended family support systems. Well, no. It just means that you keep your country in the family. And you don't give your country away to some fucking person you don't fucking know. The practice, which is common in the British Pakistani community, has been linked to a greater prevalence of disorders such as cystic fibrosis and sickle cell disease. Well, yeah. Figures show that up to 20% of the children treated for congenital problems in cities such as Sheffield, Glasgow, and Birmingham are of Pakistani descent compared with 4% of the lower in the wider population. And treating these problems costs the NHS billions. The guidance released by NHS, England's genomics education program, argues that although first cousin marriage is linked to an increased likelihood of child having a genetic condition or a congenital anomaly, There are many other factors that also increase the chance, such as parental age, smoking, alcohol use, and assisted reproductive technologies, none of which are banned in the UK. Jesus. You don't want anomalies. You don't want genetic conditions that could potentially get your fucking kid killed, yes? It claims intermarriage offers benefits such as, or benefits which include stronger extended family support systems and economic advantages. Resources, property, and adherence can be considered rather than diluted across households. And that as banning the practice would stigmatize certain communities and cultural traditions. The authorities should instead offer genetic counseling, awareness, raising initiatives, and public health campaigns. Well, I mean, you already got that sometimes happening. Fucking weird, though. And it says, although children of first cousins have an increased chance of being born with a genetic condition, that increase is a small one. In the general population, a child's chance of being born with a genetic condition is around 2 to 3%. This increased to 4 to 6% in children of first cousins. Hence, most children of first cousins are healthy. Responding to the guidance, Tory MP Richard Holden said that the Conservatives would legislate to ban marriage between first cousins on the grounds that it destroys integration, women's rights, and the health of those involved. Well, I mean, yeah, in a sense. Well, I mean, it would be up to the woman in a sense, but yeah. Mr. Holden told the Mail on Sunday, our NHS should stop taking the knee to damaging the oppressive cultural practices. The Conservatives want to see an end to cousin marriage as a backdoor to immigration too, but Labour are deaf to these sensible demands. Oh, like Ilhan Omar and her brother? Aaron, her brother, apparently, on paper. Sir Keir Starmer should stop running scared of the misogynistic community controllers and their quislings, who appear in the form of cultural relativists, obsessed sociology professors, and ban a practice the overwhelming majority from every community in Britain want to see ended for good. Dr. Patrick Nash, an expert on religious law and director of the Pharaohs Foundation Social Science Research Group in Oxford, said it was truly dismaying to see NHS England publishing official educational material that promotes the supposed social benefits of cousin marriage without even mentioning its proven links to honor violence, gender discrimination, multifarious forms of clan corruption, and the immense cost to the taxpayer. Dr. Nash added, cousin marriage is incest. I mean, well, yeah, it is. I mean, you're related to them well, you could say blood and gene, yeah. Plain and simple, and need to be banned with the utmost urgency. There is no balance to be struck between this cultural lifestyle choice and the severe public health implications it incurs. This official article is deeply misleading and should be retracted with an apology, so that the public is not misled by omission and half-truths. YouGov poll earlier this year found that 3/4 of Britons support a ban, with only 9% thinking the law should remain as it is. What the fuck? No. The people thinking it should remain, right? You should be able to do what Henry VIII was doing. Yeah, no. You shouldn't do any of those guys what they were doing fucking in the past, to be honest. Some of those guys were fucking crazy, right? The NHS guidance also argues that marriage between first cousins, known as consanguineous marriage, has been practiced for centuries across many cultures. It states that UK's UK laws allowing first cousin marriage date back to the reign of Henry VIII in the 16th century, having broken with Rome in order to marry Anne Boleyn. Henry passed a new law that enabled him to marry her cousin, Catherine Howard. The NHS Genomics Education Program did not respond to a request for. Oh well, I mean, I'm gonna comment for them. You shouldn't fucking do it. You should not get with someone who's related to you by blood or genes, because yes, there is a potential
Portland,
case
Oregon,
where
now
your
preparing for the
kid
deployment
might
of the
get
National
fucked
Guard
up.
to protect ICE
And it's
facilities.
just awkward.
Yesterday,
It's
President
just
Trump
fucking
posted
weird,
online saying
too.
he's
Like,
sending
what the fuck?
troops to handle, quote, domestic terrorists.
Right? It's
Christiana Benavides
I
breaks
view it
down
as the
growing
same as
tensions
incest.
over the administration's immigration crackdown.
Because they're part of your,
Overnight,
they're already in your
protesters,
family to
including
begin
some
with.
who
Why the
faced
fuck
off
are
with
you trying
officers,
to?
gathered in front of an ICE facility in Portland as the city prepares
That's
for the
some
deployment
fucking
of
heinous,
troops by
gross
order of
shit,
President
dude.
Trump, who said
Oh my
he
goodness.
authorized the use of full force if necessary to protect ICE facilities, which he says are under siege by Antifa.
Have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look at what's happening in Portland?
Have you seen the
It's,
Antifa?
I mean, this has been going on for
Antifa?
years.
There are a bunch of
people out of
bigots.
control.
They don't know.
Crazy. We're going to stop that very soon.
The deployment is on the heels of last week's shooting targeting an ICE facility in Dallas, where a gunman shot at detainees and agents who were in a van. Bullets found near the scene included ones that the FBI said had the words anti-ICE. 31-year-old Miguel Angel Garcia, a Mexican national, was shot 8 times and is on life support.
I'm so tired. Like, I'm tired of being strong, you know?
Stephanie Goffney, a U.S. citizen,
I'm
is
sorry,
Garcia's
what?
wife.
Tired
She
of
is
being
pregnant, and they
strong.
share 4 children. She says Garcia was going through the citizenship process when he was arrested for a DUI and picked up by ICE. This
Wait,
federal
is
immigration
this?
officer seen shoving a woman to the ground
Yeah,
in the courthouse.
this was
was
so
placed
funny.
on leave. Back in Oregon,
There is no insurrection.
I mean, I think what he
There is
did
no
was a little
threat to
excessive.
national
I mean,
security.
all he had to
There
do
is
was like push
no
her away.
need for military
Hey, go
troops
back
in
down.
our major
Go
city.
away.
the state's governor said troops should be dedicated to what she calls real
Obviously, it looked like
emergencies.
there seemed to be.
CBS News.
It looked like he tripped a bit or
The
something.
National Guard also expected to arrive in Memphis this week as
I
part of
don't
the
think he
Trump
should have gotten
administration's
fired for
crackdown
or
on crime.
reprimanded for it. I mean, it was a high, tense, stressful situation. Obviously, the lady was putting her hands on him and shit, so it's like,
Now, with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news.
Hi, everybody. That breaking news continues from the Grand Blanc Township and now Burton areas just north of the Metro Detroit area. I'm going to step
we
out of the way. I'm
already-
sure you're
we already
by now
covered
there was
this.
a mass shooting at the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township.
I'll leave it in the
10 people
description,
were
but
shot.
One
is dead.
in
The
the
shooter
sources, but we
also
already
shot
covered
and
this.
killed by police.
We covered
What
this
you're
in a
looking at
separate
right
video.
now is a map of where that church
Yeah.
is. Again, in the Grand Blanc Township.
The church shooting in Grand Blanc Township. And then let's see what's going on here in Ilhan Omar.
You should go back to where you've come from.
Well, it is
And,
disgusting.
I don't like clowns.
Next. Clown world. White people abolish slavery. Be thankful. Meanwhile, there are millions of slaves in Africa, Asia, and Middle East. But you don't care because you can't blame white people. What? What does that have to do with us? What? Wait a minute. First of all, how is that person going to make the slavery that's in those other countries our problem? They're doing it themselves. What? I've been made a majority of new directors at S&P 500 companies for the first time since 2017. Your ancestors were not evil. Our overlords see this and think, you know what we would make this even better? 500,000 Somal.
So jealous! Everything that we have built, they want to destroy.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Hypocrite, low IQ liberals on immigration. We need higher voting rights standards. Men whose families have lived in the country for a min of 3 generations.
Yeah.
Yes. You do? Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
People come here.
Of course. Yes.
Yes.
Wait for it.
There's a housing crisis for migrants going on right now. Would you sign this pledge today to open up your home to house a migrant?
No, never.
Like to open my house to strangers? Not like that.
No.
No.
I can't just open my house to strangers, people I don't know.
We're in support of people doing it. We just can't do it at the time.
Well, not my home, but I think that's a great idea for them, though.
You think it's a good idea for other people?
Yeah.
Why not?
See, they're fucking. So they don't think it's okay to do it to their own homes, but it's okay to do it for their own country. Like, do you what? What kind of back? Motherfucker, that is your own home, you dumbass. They're gonna be knocking on your door next. They're asking you for free money and shit already, and you're already giving it to them. You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Why should I? It's my home. If there's not enough housing for all the immigrants, then there's definitely too much.
So, no more immigration.
I support it as long as the system can catch all of those immigrants.
What do we do with the immigrants that are here that don't have housing?
I'm not sure. That's not my job, so yeah. But yeah.
So basically, as you can see, these people, right? They're all for they want immigration, but at the same time, they don't want to think of a solution, right? They don't want to be the one to pull the plug, right? They don't want to pull the trigger, right? Fucking lazy ass motherfuckers.
I'm the one who robs the bank, and you're the one everybody hates.
Jasmine Crockett. Remember when I said, is she a relation to the late great Davy Crockett? I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask, she's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one because she shouldn't even be in the crowd. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson. Between her and Ilhan Omar, you know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he said, "I don't want her." The Democrats have become radical left lunatics. They have policies that nobody's going to buy, and you know, I see what's going on in New York. We're going to have perhaps a communist mayor because it's split up. You know, if the people would get together and have one candidate, they'd have, I think, a pretty good chance. But looks like maybe they're not going to do that. But we're going to end up with a communist mayor. It's not even believable, my beautiful New York. When I left New York to become president, it was a great place.
Oh, my beautiful New York, falling to illegals.
Had just started.
Them goddamn foreign invaders. We need to give them the N-word.
Can you believe it?
My favorite word, the N-word.
City management, along with the mayor of Chicago.
Hard and
harder. Went to Harvard to teach me. The two of them are teaching how to manage a city manage it into hell is what they do. But that was the beginning.
We
and
need
now
to
we're going to
send
go a
in
step
the
further.
nuclear
Now we're going with the
team.
communists. Can I be honest? I think it's the greatest thing to ever happen to the Republican Party. I really do. I think if a communist takes over New York City, I think that's a gift to the Republican Party. It's sad for New York, but it's a gift. And New York will recover because, you know, sometimes you need a shock like that to straighten you out.
What that displays for not just Americans, but folks on an international platform is that our country is being led by idiots.
It's a general rule across Western society.
Well, I'm looking at one. I was looking at one.
Nobody here has married their brother. You know, we don't have to really elaborate on that. I don't think you have to Google anything. I think, well, don't marry your brother. Don't marry your sister. Not a big deal. Unfortunately, Ilhan Omar has. It is starting to break forth. And Donald Trump, you know Donald Trump, he starts teasing stuff. People tell him he's a racist, and 2 years later, they're like, "Oh, the racist guy got it all right." Well, look at this from Donald Trump on.
No, I mean,
Social.
no, they
Trump,
still call him racist.
Ilhan Omar's country of Somalia is plagued by a
even
lack
though
of
he got it
control,
correct, they
persistent
still call him
poverty,
racist, a
hunger,
bigot,
terrorism, piracy,
Hitler.
decades of civil war, corruption, and pervasive violence.
No matter
70%
what.
of the population lives in extreme poverty.
I'm
and
right.
widespread
I'm
food
winning.
insecurity.
I'm
Somalia
winning.
is consistently ranked
Winning,
among the
winning,
world's most corrupt
winning.
countries, including bribery, embezzlement,
You're
and dysfunctional
losing.
government. government. All of this, and Ilhan Omar tells us how to run
Loser.
America. P.S. Wasn't she the one that married her brother in order to gain citizenship? What scum we have in our country telling us what to do and how to do it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. And what, of course, you are seeing, Mike, you can leave that up for just a sec. What you are seeing right there is her, Ilhan Omar's marriage license application. It is finally breaking forth.
Remove it.
Deport her?
Ilhan knows she.
Well, I mean, Ilhan is.
You are gay, LMAO. You are gay.
Sorry, fuck.
He is in some hot
I'm so
water,
sorry.
and well, she's trying to offer some.
I mean,
tepid
we could
defense.
just do this
Take a look.
to.
He's uneducated enough to understand that members
we
of
could
Congress
just do
can't
this
be
too.
impeached. You know, when you have Nancy and Randy saying, you know, we're on it, we're going to impeach her. When they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen, what that displays for not just Americans but folks on an international platform is that our country is being led by idiots.
Madness. This is Sparta!
Remember that one time she tried to
Sorry,
liken,
Ilhan, but
like,
not only
what?
did everything you say there.
I forgot
is
what she
everything
tried
that
to
you said
liken
there,
a terrorist
lie and
organization
backwards.
to
It
one of
turns
like
out there's some
America's
factual
institutions or
evidence
some shit.
into why we can get rid of someone
Or one
like
of
you.
I
This
was
from
like,
Real
what the fuck
AR
are you
on X.
talking
Once
about,
again,
crazy
the know-it-all knows
bitch?
nothing. A naturalized citizen can lose their citizenship through a process called denaturalization, which could potentially lead to a deportation if certain conditions are met. Examples include providing false information during the naturalization process, committing serious crimes, treason or terrorism-related offenses could trigger denaturalization proceedings. So she married her brother for immigration purposes for her brother, so that could qualify as that. And then as it pertains to terrorism or some of those other things, I think I don't have evidence of this. This is my belief around her and Rashida Tlaib and some of these other people. They are going to find, either through a RICO case or something, they are going to find high-level coordination between people.
Well,
like
I mean,
them
they
and
have
these
right.
NGOs
AOC and
that are putting
Ilhan
people out on the
Omar
streets
have
that are
been
working
caught
with,
in the
you know,
past,
Hamas
right?
crew and the Antifa crew that are committing acts
going
of domestic terrorism
talking
and
to
violence.
Joining
right
us tonight is
talking
Democratic
to
Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota.
ESL
Thank you
people,
so
well,
much,
not even
Congresswoman, for
ESL
joining
people,
us
people that don't
tonight.
even
Thank you
speak
for
any
having me.
English,
Of
and
course,
telling
in
those
recent
people,
news,
hey,
you have
to break the law,
France,
right?
that just
You can go into our
yesterday,
country
along
and
with
break
about
the
a dozen
laws.
other
All you have to do
countries,
is say
said that
these
they would
things, and they
recognize
have to
Palestinian
let you
statehood.
through.
Does it
Like,
weigh
what the
on you,
fuck are you
or
talking
what is
about,
your
bitch?
response that America really remains an outlier with its allegiance to Israel?
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good news that
Yeah.
right now about nearly 75% of UN member states have recognized a Palestinian state.
They are so stupid.
It is important for the United States to engage in a process. Where
Okay, first
it
of
does
all, what does recognizing a Palestinian state do? Oh, okay. So everyone says, "Oh yes, cool. There's a Palestinian state somehow." Okay. Now what next? Nothing? Okay. Well, thanks for your input. What a fucking nothing burger that was.
lead to that recognition.
Oh, you don't tell us what to do. Feudal warlord.
And join the rest of the world. We know that it is really important for us to do everything that we
I'm
can
sorry,
to
join
end the
the
genocide
West.
that's taking place
The
in
ret.
Gaza.
The ret. What
to
are you
have,
talking about?
humanitarian
The rest
access
of
to stop the
no one's on the
starvation,
same page.
And finally come to a resolution.
See, that's her issue. She thinks the rest of the world, like everyone's on the same. No, bitch. Why do you think we're broken up into first world, second world, and third world countries? You dumb fucking bitch.
To this decade-long conflict
Ay,
that
ay,
we've
ay.
seen between the people of Palestine and the people of Israel.
Okay.
Why do you
Well,
think we have
Junior,
all?
you
What do
should
you
go
think
back
we
to where
have
you
different
come from.
religions and different
Well,
belief
it is
systems and shit like that?
disgusting
You
for the
dumb
president
cunt.
of the
I
United
fucking hate you.
States
Why do you look different from
discourage,
me?
a
You
country
dumb
that we
retard.
have devoted so much energy
Because
in
we're
helping,
exactly fucking
stabilize.
different.
You have funneling money.
I mean, yeah, we're both humans, but we're completely different people.
because he certainly knows that Somalia does have a government. They're on their way in creating some strides to make sure that they have stability, security, and economic vitality.
Okay, then why don't you go back and help them? Why the fuck are you coming to our country and then telling us how to go run our country like how they go run their fucking shithole country?
But also it is important for
Go
us
back
to
to your
recognize
fucking
just how
Somali butt
wrong,
country.
xenophobic, bigoted it is for the president of the United States to join the
Fucking
online
butt
trolls
pirates.
and saying that I should be sent back to where I came from.
All you do is spout stupid hipster buzzwords. That way.
Correct.
Cudgel.
Doesn't work anymore.
Get the fuck out!
Pretty much. Honestly, I just want, I literally want these people out. Let's just shut the fuck up and get out. You're so fucking annoying every fucking day, man. It's the constant fucking bullshit. And it's like every time I have to say the same fucking thing over and over again because the same people keep, right, they keep saying the same bullshit. Everyone sounds like a fucking broken record at this point. Alright, there you go. There's your palate cleanser. Anyways, that's gonna do it. That is the news for today. I will put all the links as usual in the description. Take a look at them. But yeah, there you have it.